What if the biggest mistake men over 50 are making isn't what they're eating, but what they're not combining? Because the truth is, your body doesn't respond to ingredients, it responds to synergy. And tonight, I'm going to show you something simple, something you can make in under 5 minutes that may do more for your energy, circulation, and overall vitality than most expensive supplements ever will. No hype, no magic pills, just understanding how your body actually works. And once you see it, you won't look at your kitchen the same way again. Let's get one thing straight. Testosterone isn't just about sex. That's the surface level idea most people have. But in reality, testosterone is deeply connected to your energy levels, your ability to build and maintain muscle, your mental clarity, your mood and motivation, even how your body stores fat. And here's where things get uncomfortable. Starting around your 40s, testosterone doesn't crash overnight. It quietly declines, about 1% per year. That doesn't sound like much, until you realize what that means over a decade. By the time many men hit their 50s or 60s, they're not dealing with one problem. They're dealing with a cascade effect. Lower energy, less movement. Less movement, worse circulation. Worse circulation, lower performance. Lower performance, higher stress. Higher stress, even lower testosterone. And just like that, you're stuck in a loop. Now, here's the part nobody tells you. Most men try to fix this the wrong way. They look for a pill, a quick fix, a testosterone booster with a fancy label. But the body doesn't work like that. Because hormones aren't controlled by one thing, they're influenced by fat intake, inflammation levels, blood sugar stability, sleep quality, stress hormones. So if you try to hack testosterone without addressing the system, you're basically trying to light a fire with wet wood. That's why what we're about to talk about actually matters, not because it's a miracle, but because it works with your biology. Let's start with the base. Olive oil. Now, this isn't about pouring random oil on your food. Quality matters. We're talking about extra virgin olive oil. Why? Because your body literally uses fat as the raw material for hormone production. No fat, no building blocks. But here's where it gets interesting. Not all fats are equal. Some fats increase inflammation, others reduce it. Olive oil sits in a unique position. It supports heart health. It reduces inflammation. It helps maintain hormone balance. And inflammation is the silent killer here. Because chronic inflammation doesn't just affect your joints. It interferes with the very cells responsible for producing testosterone. So before you even think about boosting hormones, you need to protect the system that produces them. Now let's talk about something most men overlook. Stress. Not emotional stress, biological stress, the kind that shows up as cortisol. Here's the problem. Cortisol and testosterone are like two people fighting for the same space. When one goes up, the other goes down. And in today's world, most men are unknowingly running on high cortisol. Poor sleep, constant stimulation, work pressure, lack of recovery. This is where garlic comes in, not as a superfood, but as a regulator. Garlic contains compounds that help reduce cortisol, improve circulation, support vascular flexibility. But here's a detail most people miss. Preparation matters. If you just chop garlic and eat it immediately, you're missing the most powerful compound. You need to crush it and let it sit, because that's when the transformation happens. And that's when it becomes biologically active. Now let's talk about something that quietly destroys hormones. Blood sugar instability. Spikes, crashes, repeat. Every time that happens, your body goes into correction mode. And when your body is constantly correcting, it's not optimizing. This is where lemon plays a surprisingly important role. Not because it's detoxing, but because it supports blood sugar regulation, antioxidant protection, nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide is key Because it helps your blood vessels relax. And relaxed blood vessels mean one thing: better flow. And better flow is everything. Now we add ginger. And this is where things start stacking. Ginger does three critical things: reduces inflammation, supports circulation, protects cellular function. Think of it like armor. Your hormone-producing cells are constantly under attack from oxidative stress, poor diet, environmental factors. Ginger helps reduce that damage. But more importantly, it supports the environment those cells live in. Because again, it's not about forcing production. It's about creating conditions where production naturally improves. Now comes one of the most misunderstood combinations: turmeric plus black pepper. On its own, turmeric has incredible anti-inflammatory properties. But here's the catch: your body struggles to absorb it. That's where black pepper comes in. It acts like a key, unlocking absorption. And when combined with healthy fats, the effect becomes even stronger. Now you're not just consuming nutrients, you're actually using them. And that's the difference between eating something healthy versus getting benefits from it. Now let's bring everything together, because individually, these ingredients are useful, but together, they create something far more powerful. You're combining healthy fats, hormone support, anti-inflammatory compounds, cell protection, circulation enhancers, blood flow, stress regulators, hormone balance. This is what synergy looks like. Not one ingredient doing everything, but multiple elements working together. Now here's where most people mess up. Timing. Your body isn't static. It runs on cycles. And testosterone? It follows a rhythm tied to sleep. Levels rise at night, peak during early sleep phases. So if you give your body the right inputs at the right time, you're not forcing anything. You're supporting what it's already trying to do. That's why evening consumption makes sense, not because it's magical, but because it aligns with biology. Let me be blunt. This is not going to change your life overnight. And that's a good thing. Because anything that does usually doesn't last. Real change happens quietly, in the background, through consistency. Small inputs, repeated daily. Most people underestimate this. They want dramatic results. But the body rewards patterns, not intensity. If you take nothing else from this video, remember this: it's not the mixture, it's the environment you create. Because this only works when combined with decent sleep, basic movement, hydration, reduced alcohol intake. Without those, you're working against yourself. With them, you're amplifying everything. So maybe the real takeaway here isn't the recipe itself. It's the idea behind it, that your body isn't broken. It's just responding to what you give it. And when you start giving it the right signals, consistently, things begin to shift. Not instantly, but steadily. And sometimes those quiet changes are the ones that matter most. Because they don't just improve how you feel today, they shape how you function tomorrow. And if that perspective changes the way you look at your health, then you're already one step ahead of where you were before.